Hello everyone and welcome to Vlogmas day 12. I'm actually filming this video on December 12th, the day that I'm going to be posting it. Really on a time crunch right now. I just finished a final this morning and then I have one more tomorrow and I haven't looked at any of that content yet. So we're going to go through this a little quickly. Today I thought it'd be fun to do a little naughty or nice game featuring my dental school classes. If you don't know, you take a ton of classes in dental school. I think in undergrad, the most I ever took was like 4 or 5 classes per semester. So like 10 max a year, not counting like labs. So I don't really know. I feel like the most I ever had was 4 classes and 3 labs, so like 7. But I didn't have that like 2 semesters back to back. But now we're taking that amount in like 1 term and we have 4 terms. But I thought it'd be fun to go through all the classes I took during my first year of dental school and say whether they were naughty or nice, like good or bad. A few of the classes we take have like multiple classes like to them. In college, if you were to take like biology 1 and then biology 2, or anatomy 1 and then anatomy 2 the next term. For example, we have like an intro to comprehensive care class and we had 3 of them our first year. During our first year, our summer term is super light. You start dental school with only 2 classes. It's like the easiest term you'll ever have other than your 4th year. First year, it doesn't really seem like you have too many classes, at least in the beginning. And then your second year, you're like totally flooded. In our first year of dental school, we took a total of 27 classes, which isn't horrible compared to the amount of classes we took in our second year. Like I said, I kind of grouped a couple of them together, so I actually only have a list of 23 classes. First year wasn't super horrible for me. I kind of enjoyed it, I think because I walked in with like an optimistic mind. I was just happy to be there and it wasn't super busy. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. Here's a quick little overview of the classes that I took. Like I said, grouped some of them together. Dental anatomy, I'm gonna say that was a nice class. Like the first class we ever took in dental school. Drew teeth like all day long. That was like the waxing class and I absolutely loved waxing. I know a lot of people hate it just because it's super time consuming, but I thought it was so therapeutic and I really enjoyed doing it. And I thought I did a pretty good job at waxing. So I actually really enjoyed that class. Social justice, which is our next class, I'm gonna put that one on the naughty list. I was so scared of my teacher. Instructor was the type of person who would call on you randomly in class. When I started dental school, it was 2021, and so it was like the end of COVID sort of, so our school still had a lot of COVID protocols in place. We had this class on WebEx actually, a lot of group work, and our instructor would like randomly call on you, especially for a new dental student who didn't really know any of your classmates. Have a scary instructor and then do group work all class long was like not my favorite. Okay, next class, gross anatomy. It's kind of hard for me because I really enjoy anatomy. Yes, dental school anatomy was so much harder just because it's so much more information thrown at you in such a short amount of time. But I have to say that I'm gonna put it on the nice list. I genuinely thought that the class wasn't horrible. It wasn't super hard either. Don't get me wrong, it was a very difficult class, but I wouldn't say it was harder than other classes. Majority of my classmates would probably say that this is the worst and hardest class of dental school at OHSU. I do think we have more difficult classes. I think it's just because I really loved anatomy and that was like my favorite class in undergrad. I had that class split, so we had some of the classes on the dental school campus and then the rest of the classes on the medical school campus in their lecture halls and cadaver lab, and it was pretty fun. General histology, I would put that on a nice list. I absolutely loved our teacher. He was the sweetest little older guy with an accent. He was a great teacher and provided great resources. Histology isn't like the most interesting thing to me, but I actually did enjoy that class, so I'll put that one on the nice list. Minimally invasive dentistry, I think that was one of the first operative classes that we had. I really liked our instructors for this class and I genuinely enjoyed anything sim clinic, so I'll put them on the nice list as well. Intro to occlusion, this class we had a lot of partner work, so it was pretty cool to be able to like take impressions on classmates. I think it was really fun to do a lot of hands-on things and meet your classmates. Super fun and interactive. Dental materials 1, this was the first ever dental materials class we took. I'm gonna put this one on the naughty list. I really adore the teacher who teaches this class. They are an amazing instructor and so sweet and so helpful. But dental materials itself, especially this first one, so chemistry based and like so minute. I didn't find it interesting at all, and this was one of the classes I put on the back burner, so when it came to finals week, this one this one was giving me a hard time to study for. Dental public health, I'm gonna put this one on the nice list as well. I thought this class was actually pretty interesting to learn a lot about public health. Public health wasn't really something I was looking into, but I definitely would consider it nowadays. It was really nice though to learn about like different policies and some things that a typical patient struggles with and the best way to take care of them. So I actually did enjoy this class. Next we have Intro to Comp Care. We had 3 of these classes during our first year. Basically this is your class where we had small little projects or small assignments, and this is the class where you do all of your assisting, rotation, all that fun stuff. I put this on like the top of the nice list. We would never have exams in this class. I feel like as a first and second year, assisting and going on rotations are the best part of the school year. So exciting to be able to assist and see all of these procedures, and a lot of these procedures you haven't even heard of, slash it's also really fun because we have rotations in like the specialty clinic. First year you do cleanings on each other and you see patients for cleanings in like your first or second year, I don't really remember. You got a lot of hands-on experience and real life experience through this class, so nice list for sure. Number 10, clinical scientific inquiry. I would put this one on the naughty list. This one was not fun. It was basically a class introducing us and like teaching us how to use evidence-based dentistry. I do think this class was helpful because so much of our content at school and a lot of the projects we have to do are evidence-based, but it was really boring and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. This one, Foundations of Patient Safety. This class with other students within our school, so it was like dental, nursing, PA, radiology, med, a bunch of different students at OHSU. Have presentations and then you're thrown into breakout groups with your group, and basically just had assignments and like a presentation to work on with these other students from the other schools. I would put this class on the naughty list. There was actually some drama in this class. A lot of my classmates have friends who are medical students, or they have friends who are part of other programs that are at our school. I don't really remember the story specifically, but I'm pretty sure it was like something along the lines of somebody was presenting something to the class, and on the list of like healthcare providers or something, like dentists weren't on there. One of my classmates like put in the chat like, oh, what about dentists or something, I don't know, I can't really remember. I guess a med student who was friends with one of my classmates screenshotted the first year medical student chat and had sent it to my classmate, and my classmate sent it to our class's chat, and it was basically like med students putting like all of these memes and like making fun of dental students, or kind of just making fun of us for thinking that we were important in the health of an individual. I think it was like small things like, oh my gosh, somebody is having whatever issue at the hospital, let me go call a dentist. Like they were just making fun of us like that, which was kind of irritating. Like it was just unprofessional and unnecessary. On top of that, the medical student in my group didn't really do any work slash respond to messages that often, so yeah. Anyways, medical students and other professionals, love you, but moving on. Biophysiology, naughty list, all of them. We had 3 biophysiology classes, but 2 of them were in our first year. But actually the one in our second year was pretty good. I don't know how I felt about the first one. It was like iffy, but I'm gonna put it on the naughty list because I wasn't a big fan of the instructor's teaching style. It was a pretty difficult class and I was not interested in it at all. That's all I have to say about that class. Next, oral histology. Histology was fun. I enjoyed learning about histology, so I'm gonna put that on the nice list. Facial growth, this was one of my favorite classes. The instructor was super nice and super sweet. This class was basically an intro to ortho class. Really cool to be able to learn about like facial structures and growth and some of the things that you can do to fix certain facial features. And it was actually super easy and just so interesting. Principles of perio, I'm gonna put this on the nice list. Perio wasn't like my favorite class in general. It was an introductory class, so it wasn't horrible. In this class as well, we had certain days we would go into clinic, and that's where we learned how to use like perio instruments and remove calculus. I really enjoyed removing calculus off of the fake teeth because it was so satisfying. The next one is interprofessional practice, second class of the IPE class. I'm gonna put this one on the nice list. We had the same people in our group from like the first class that we had. All we did was present and submit our presentation. So this class felt super short and I don't really remember much of it, so I'm just put it on the nice list because I didn't think it was like bad. Biophys 2, this is probably my least favorite class of my entire time here at dental school. This was the most difficult class for me. I think I was one, distracted with whatever else was going on in my life at the time. I had a hard time in this class and I did not like it. So naughty list, number one on the naughty list. Like they're the worst ones that Sana really got to pay attention to. Next we have microbiology and immunology. I loved this class. My instructor was super sweet. Nice list for sure. Trying to speed things up here, but oral radiology, great class, lots of fun, super interesting, nice list. Direct restorations, and then the next class after that is indirect restorations. Again, sim clinic based, lots of different restorations that we did all day, every day. I really enjoyed these classes, so both of them on the nice list for sure. Perio number 2, I don't really remember this perio specifically. I never really like hated a perio class enough to like put them on the naughty list, so I'm gonna say nice list. And dental materials number 2. This dental materials class was actually kind of difficult. I think because of a lot of our lecturers for our dental materials classes, they all have really strong accents, which can be really difficult to understand. I'll put them on the nice list. The teachers are all so great. I don't really remember like hating this class. Shall we calculate what this all looks like? It looks like I only had 5 classes that were on the naughty list. I guess I have to give a little more credit to these classes. I mean, dental school is gonna be difficult no matter what. Everyone's dental school experience is different. You could ask a first year right now and they might say everything's on the naughty list. Or you could probably ask one of my classmates and they might have loved all of these classes. I thought this was actually really fun to like reminisce, I guess, on these classes that I've taken during my first year. Second year is a whole nother story. I'm just thankful to have been able to take all of these classes and to learn from all of them. With that being said, I better go and study for my exam tomorrow and I will see you next time. Bye!